These chicken meatballs are the newest resident of Snack City in my freezer, and I have been absolutely housing them each night because they are so good. With them, I make things like these buffalo chicken meatballs. Sometimes I'll eat them plain with a side of tater tots and ketchup and mustard, or if I have nothing else in my fridge, I'll throw together everything in Snack City and make something like this. If you take the time to prep your snacks, you should want to protect them. And the greatest protector and defender against freezer burn for Snack City over the past year has been these ZWILLING Fresh and Safe vacuum bags. I'll tell you more about them later, but let's make the meatballs first. Place 5 pounds or 2.27 kilos of ground chicken into a large bowl. I make this myself by putting chicken thighs into the food processor, and that gives me 96% lean chicken. Then you can add in 1.5 teaspoons or 10 grams of salt, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of black pepper, 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of onion powder, 1 cup or 80 grams of rolled oats, and then 2 eggs that have been beaten. Get in there with your hands and start folding everything together until it has all been well incorporated. The oats are included here to help retain moisture. They're replacing regular breadcrumbs, which are usually used in meatballs. If you wanted to process them a bit to break them into smaller pieces, you could do that. I contemplated doing this myself, but then I asked, do you really want to get the food processor out and clean it just to have slightly smaller pieces of oats? And the answer was clearly no. Next, get out a couple of large sheet pans and line them with foil to help make cleanup easier. To form the meatballs, I use a regular sized cookie scoop, dig into the meat mixture, and place them onto the sheet pan. The cookie scoop is nice to easily get meatballs that are roughly the same size without having to do any guesswork. Try to space them out evenly on the sheet pan with plenty of room between them, as this will help each meatball get better browning. If you have more meatball than sheet pan real estate, it is best to cook whatever you have and finish the remainder later rather than to overcrowd the pan. Once I have all of the meatballs scooped out, I create them into tighter meatballs to clean up any of the loose edges that were left over by the scoop. Spray your hands lightly with a bit of oil to prevent stickage, and just toss the meatballs between your hands a few times to round them off. They are ready to be roasted once this step is complete. Place them into your oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius for 17 to 20 minutes. I ended up with 3 pans of the meatballs, and I tried roasting 2 of them at once. The meatballs that were on the top rack of the oven didn't get any browning because all of the steam that was released from the ones below. If you wanted optimal browning, I would recommend roasting the pans one at a time. You can see the difference here just by looking at the color around each meatball and tell which pan was on the top rack and which pan was beneath. Here we have a meatball from the bottom rack which has a nice brown crust that was closer to the heating element. And here we have a meatball from the top rack that was subjected to all of the steam released from the meatballs on the bottom, which made it difficult to get any color. They'll still taste great even if they aren't fully browned, and it will save you some time if you double up on the pans in the oven. Some days speed is more of a priority even if it means sacrificing on technique, and that's okay. The next step I take is to allow the meatballs to cool down a bit, and then I move them all onto a single sheet pan to place in the freezer to be flash frozen. Flash freezing in a home kitchen simply means giving the individual pieces of food a chance to freeze separately by spreading them out in a single layer and placing uncovered into your freezer. This allows ice crystals to form on the exterior of each piece and will prevent them from freezing together. This is especially important if you're going to vacuum seal your snacks. I make as much room as I can in the freezer, and I place the sheet pan in until everything is frozen solid. If you don't have the space for this, you may have to get creative. As I always say, be smarter than the freezer. After a couple of hours, those meatballs will have frozen solid, and you can crack that sheet pan just like you would an ice cube tray, and they should come apart. And now for the fun part. We get to vacuum seal them. Snack City is defended and protected against freezer burn, our greatest enemy, by these ZWILLING Fresh and Safe bags and vacuum sealer. ZWILLING saw that I used their knives and Fresh and Safe gear in many of my videos, and they wanted to sponsor this video. ZWILLING is one of Snack City's greatest allies, and this Fresh and Safe vacuum starter set has truly been a game changer for me with Snack City. I'm able to keep the citizens of Snack City safe from freezer burn and up to 5 times longer because of it. It's almost like this product was made specifically for Snack City. Being able to open the bags, grab out a snack, and then reseal them with the vacuum pump is exactly what I was looking for when Snack City was first founded. The Fresh and Safe starter set comes with a vacuum pump, 2 glass containers, and 4 of the sealable bags. But I told them, hey, Snack Cities everywhere are booming. The people need more bags. And they agreed, so if you use the code MEALPREP at checkout when you purchase the starter set, they're going to send you 10 extra bags for free. I use the bags in the pump legitimately every single day. Ever since I got the vacuum pump last year, every snack that goes into Snack City is in one of these Fresh and Safe bags. So place all of your frozen meatballs into the bag, remove the air, and these are now ready to go inside of your freezer. I ended up getting 83 meatballs out of this recipe, which means that each meatball has about 37 calories and 5.4 grams of protein. If you got a bigger or smaller yield, no big deal. There is a table on the recipe page on my website where you can update with how many you made, and it will give you how many calories each one has. Now the question becomes, so what do I do with the meatballs now? Let me show you those buffalo chicken meatballs first. Once you get the meatballs prepped, you are never more than minutes away from a wonderful, flavorful, and satiating snack. I open that bag, grab out a snack-sized portion of the meatballs, and place them into the basket of my air fryer. I air fry them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until they're hot, which usually takes about 5 minutes. While they are cooking in the air fryer, seal up the bag again, take the vacuum pump to it and suck out all the air, and move it back into Snack City in your freezer. Once the meatballs are hot, pull them from the air fryer and transfer into a large bowl to be tossed with some buffalo sauce. I use 1 to 2 tablespoons of the buffalo sauce for about 8 meatballs and toss them around until they are well coated. And that's all there is to it, a little snack-sized portion of the chicken meatballs. Now the label on the buffalo sauce that I use says that it has 0 calories. It doesn't, it has some, but I'm not going to worry about counting it. So just for the meatballs here, we've got 302 calories and 46 grams of protein. There's no real recipe for this one because I'm just reheating stuff that's in Snack City, but sometimes I'll take those chicken meatballs along with the tater tots that I keep in Snack City and just serve them with a side of ketchup and mustard. For the 8 tots and 8 meatballs, it's 496 calories and 48 grams of protein. And finally, this last one I'm going to show you is something that I made when I didn't have any meals prepped in my fridge and I had to rely on Snack City for my dinner. We've all been there. Every once in a while you have to throw random things together to make a meal out of, and sometimes you end up with something as delicious as this. What I did was take 1 medium or 250 grams of a russet potato and cut it into crinkle fries. Usually I have a pretty big supply of these crinkle cut fries ready to go in Snack City, but on this day I happened to be out, so I had to cut them fresh. I put those fries into the basket of my air fryer, sprinkled a little salt over the top, and then air fried them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 12 minutes. Around the halfway mark, when the fries have started to develop some color, I pull them out of the air fryer and I add those chicken meatballs in to be reheated as well. The meatballs don't take very long to cook, so you don't want to start them with the fries, otherwise you're going to overcook them and risk drying them out. I return the basket to the air fryer and continue cooking until the meatballs are hot and the fries are done. While that's happening, I reseal the bag, suck all the air out, and move it back into Snack City. About 5 or 6 minutes later, the fries should be done and your meatballs will be hot. Pull the basket out of the air fryer and start constructing the final dish. For the bottom layer, I placed all the fries onto a plate and then poured over 1/2 of a cup or 125 grams of pasta sauce. If your pasta sauce was sitting in the fridge and is cold, you're going to want to heat that up first. Then I nested my 8 meatballs comfortably into the pasta sauce and sprinkled over 16 grams of shredded mozzarella cheese and then put it in the microwave just to melt the cheese. Once the cheese is melted, it's time to enjoy. This was a random and unusual meal that ended up being really delicious, and sometimes those are fun to have. This one clocked in at 614 calories and 58 grams of protein. My favorite part about Snack City is that I can always lean on it to provide me with foods like this that have lots of high quality protein to help me achieve my eating goals. It's way easier for me to hit my protein targets each day when I have prep snacks in the freezer so that I don't have to rely on prepackaged stuff from the store that is oftentimes much less macro friendly and not nearly as filling. The recipe for these chicken meatballs, as well as the link for the ZWILLING Fresh and Safe Starter Kit, is linked in the description below. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next week.